On Osrc News at 7, inhabitants set agenda as Governor Ayedatiwa moves to shore up State Executive Council. Ondo workers return to duty post tomorrow after observing Salah holiday. NCDC reports 220 cases of Lassa fever in Ondo State. And from the foreign scene, U.S. trade tariffs, climate threaten cocoa supply chain in Africa. Thank you for joining us on the news tonight. My name is Adebimpe Akindele. In a bid to deliver good governance and ensure that citizens of the state enjoy dividends of democracy, residents have set an agenda for Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa as he moves to shore up the State Executive Council. While some advocate gender equality in his administration, others believe his focus should be on merit rather than sentiment. Omoriola Ngbeji reports.
Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa was democratically elected on November 16, 2024 and sworn into office on February 24, 2025. Since then, he has appointed 2 commissioners, Attorney General and Justice, as well as Finance. Others are Secretary to the state government, along with a few special advisors to support him in steering the affairs of the state. Now, nearly 4 months after his inauguration, people of Ondo State are eagerly anticipating the full composition of his cabinet. Speaking with Osrc on governor's priorities in selecting members of the Executive Council, public analyst Omoumi emphasized the importance of appointing individuals who can address the needs of the masses and contribute meaningfully to development.
I feel his priorities should be going for the best qualified people, not judging by sentiments. If he will be picking people for his cabinet, he should go for people who are deserving of the position, not because they supported him while during the campaign or anything. People who deserve to be there, who has the good hearts of people in mind, who are going to be taking such positions to reach out to the people in general, especially those from the grassroots.
Legal practitioner Justice Akiridolu advised the governor to prioritize competence and inclusiveness, steering the need for hardworking and ensuring the women appointed work alongside their male counterparts to achieve good governance.
Women are brilliant and women have capacity and women have potential, and we expect our governor, like he has been doing before, to continue to engage women, to continue to celebrate women, to continue to put women in places of position where their voices can be heard, where they can advocate for child rights, where they can advocate for feminism, for women to be paid well, for women to be put in good positions. So we encourage you, Mr. Governor, please, whenever you're considering anybody for whatever cabinet or committee or organization, include women, involve women, make women substantial parts of those committees, because where there's women, there is progress.
In his view, a grassroots politician, Sulaiman Jimo, acknowledged the high expectations of the people, commended the governor for taking his time, and expressed optimism for a successful outcome.
Actually, I like the way he has taken his time. The way he has taken his time to do that. Because if he had rushed, maybe by now we'll be thinking of a cabinet reshuffle. Are you getting what I'm saying? But now that he has taken his time, we are not expecting him to make any mistake. We are expecting him to do the right in the right, so that everything will now go well for the state.
As citizens continue to look forward to a complete executive council, it is hoped that Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa's decisions now or later will serve the best interests of the people of Ondo State. Omoriola Ngbeji, Osrc News.
In his first 100 days in office, Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has made significant strides in revitalizing the state's healthcare sector, from upgrading primary health centers to expanding health insurance coverage. The administration's efforts aim to enhance healthcare accessibility and quality for residents. Our correspondent, Kunle Ariyo, provides details.
In just 100 days, Governor Loki Ayedatiwa has made healthcare a top priority in Ondo State, and the results are beginning to show. From the dusty parts of rural communities to the corridors of urban medical centers, change is underway. The state government has embarked on an ambitious journey to strengthen the foundation of public health care, beginning with the rehabilitation of 102 primary health centers across the 18 local government areas of the state. These centers, often the first point of contact for expectant mothers, children, and the elderly, have been equipped to deliver basic life-changing care where it is needed most. The goal is clear: to reduce the maternal mortality rate, currently estimated at 512 per 100,000 live births, bring down child mortality, which stands at 132 per 1,000 births, according to national health data. But the reforms go beyond bricks and mortar. The Ayedatiwa administration is also tackling long-standing barriers to care, which is affordability. Over 250,000 residents have now been enrolled in the Ondo State Contributory Health Scheme, a growing safety net that ensures more people, particularly the vulnerable, can access care without fear of financial ruins. This is a crucial step in a state where out-of-pocket payments have previously accounted for about 70% of all health spending, often pushing families into poverty.
Health is wealth, and this is all about our health for us, so that we'll spend minimal amounts in taking care of ourselves.
I've heard a lot about the program from my government workers that they said is a very beneficial program.
So every one of us in Nigeria, not even Nigeria, in the whole world, health is very important.
For us to increase productivity and maintain the health status of our people, there is need for this kind of insurance.
Access is also about roads and not just policies. That is why the state government recently completed the rehabilitation of the Stadium Hospital Road in Ondo City. Once riddled with potholes and congestion, the 4.3-kilometer road now offers smooth passage to key facilities, including the General Hospital and the University of Medical Sciences Teaching Hospital Complex, which together cater to half 1 million patients annually.
We do so with the hope that no woman will have to fear preventable disease during pregnancy. We hope that no child will inherit a burden that science has already conquered. And we hope that through sustainable partnerships among all levels of government in Nigeria, we will build a healthier and stronger country.
With investment, infrastructure, insurance, and assets, the first 100 days of Governor Loki Ayedatiwa's administration have sent a clear signal: the health of the people is non-negotiable. As these projects gain momentum, residents across Ondo State are beginning to see and feel the impact of a government working to put their well-being first. Kunle Ariyo, Osrc News.
Ondo State workers are expected to return to their duty post tomorrow after observing the Kabul break on Friday and yesterday. The federal government had declared Friday, June 6th and yesterday, June 9th, 2026. The federal government had declared Friday, June 6th and today, June 9th, 2025, public holidays across the country to commemorate the Muslim festival of Eid al-Adha, sequel to the announcement made in a press statement by Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Ojo. The state workforce joined their counterparts all over Nigeria to honor the call. Thousands of Muslim faithful traveled across the country to mark the festival with family and friends. Also, non-Muslims used the long holiday to join their loved ones. Eid al-Adha is a global commemoration which reflects upon the profound lessons of faith, sacrifice, and compassion as embodied in the occasion. Meanwhile, the federal government has declared Thursday, June 12, 2026, a public holiday to mark this year's Democracy Day celebration. The declaration was made public via a statement by the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who used the occasion to felicitate Nigerians on the milestone of uninterrupted democratic governance spanning over 2 decades. Dr. Tunji-Ojo further affirmed the Tinubu administration's commitment to principles of democracy, emphasizing that government remains anchored on the will of the people. He reiterated that the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu aims to uphold the democratic ideals and allow citizens to freely determine the country's political, economic, and cultural future. An executive director of Niger Delta Development Commission, Ifedayo Abegunde, has reaffirmed the Commission's commitment to advancing gender equality, women's leadership and development in the Niger Delta, speaking in Akure at the commemoration of the 2025 International Women's Day celebration. West House's Abidemi Akinrotoye now reports.
The event, with the theme Accelerating Action, Invest in Women, Advancing Rights, Leadership and Equality, aligns with global efforts to promote women's empowerment and equity. It brought together women from across the Niger Delta to mark both International Women's Day and the 25 years of the NDCC's existence. The women reflected with rich culture and unity of the region. As the women celebrated, Ifedayo Abegunde addressed the gathering, emphasizing that the NDCC is not just a vehicle for infrastructural growth, but also a strong advocate for gender inclusion and social development. Over the years, Abegunde noted that women in the region have evolved into change agents, playing key roles in peace building, entrepreneurship, and governance.
We reflect on our journey. It is clear any vision of progress that excludes women is flawed, and any model of development that underutilizes women is incomplete. We must learn from these examples in Niger Delta, where women are trusted to lead, to own land, to participate in politics, to innovate and build wealth. Is not only possible, it is necessary.
To reinforce its commitment, NDCC organized free medical checkups and an engaging seminar where legal and health experts tackled pressing issues such as trauma, women's rights to justice.
The message from this event is that we should invest in women. We should celebrate our women. We should encourage our women to do better in the society, to hold positions, to be mothers, to be professionals. We should encourage women, we should support them. When a woman comes out to vie for an office or for a position, don't hesitate to support that woman. When a woman is a victim of abuse or violence or whatever situation or circumstance in your community, don't shame that woman. Don't isolate her. Encourage her. Embrace her.
She should not be marginalized. Women should not be harassed, and our voice should be heard. Anytime there is any gathering, let it be 50-50. If not 50-50, let it be 60-40, so that women can express their feelings.
The atmosphere remained festive throughout, with music, traditional dance, and cultural displays showcasing the vibrance and resilience of Niger Delta women.
I learned about the fulfillment of women in every household. No matter how the position you are, no matter what you are, you must be submissive to your man. As for we politicians, you know, we women rise in a post sometimes that you felt that you have arrived. So we have to put it in our mind, in the corner of our mind, that no matter condition, no matter post you are, The man is the head of the family.
From the event, the message is clear. Empowering women is no longer a choice, but a necessity. Abidemi Akinrotoye, Osrc News.
Lassa fever infections on the rise raises concerns from NCDC. We bring you this and other stories after the break. Welcome back. For feedback and comments, you can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Now for the rest of the story, history has been made as the new Otakipo crude oil terminal built by the Nigerian operator of the Otakipo oil field in Rivers State concluded its first export through the $400 million facility. It's the first onshore crude export terminal to be constructed by an indigenous company and the first in over 5 decades to be built by any operator in the country. International oil companies, the maiden cargo from the terminal was lifted by an off-taker vessel, PR, approve of the successful construction and operational readiness of the terminal. The newly constructed terminal boasts an initial storage capacity of 750,000 barrels with potential expansion to 3 million barrels. It also features 360,000 barrels per day pumping capacity for loading export tankers, making it one of the most significant infrastructure projects in Nigeria's energy landscape in recent times. The Kaduna Police Command has arrested 27 suspected criminals after its operatives busted criminal hideouts in the Kawo area of Kaduna. Dangerous weapons, including knives, axes, cutlasses, and hard drugs, were recovered during the operation. The command's spokesperson, Mansil Hassan, confirmed the arrest, saying the action was in line with the directive of Commissioner of Police Rabiu Muhammad to identify, flush out, and dismantle criminal elements threatening the peace in some designated areas. He said Mr. Muhammad insisted that the suspects would be taken to court and reiterated the command's commitment to maintaining law and order across the state. To health now, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has recorded 739 confirmed Lassa fever cases out of 5,242 suspected cases from January to May 25 this year. The cases were recorded in 18 states across 95 local government areas in the latest situation report by NCDC. The agency's report showed that 90% of all confirmed cases were recorded in Ondo, Bauchi, Edo, Taraba, and Ebonyi states, while the remaining 10% came from 13 other states, according to the record. The record also showed that of the 90% confirmed cases, Ondo reported 224 cases, or 30%, Bauchi 25%, Edo 16%, Taraba 16%, and Ebonyi 3%. Ondo State has reported 28 deaths from Lassa fever, Bauchi 16, and Edo 20 deaths, among others. A retired Army Major, Joe Ajayi, who was kidnapped at his residence in Kababunu, local government area of Kogi State, a few weeks ago, has died in the kidnapper's den despite a ransom of 10 million naira paid for his release. The initial demands of 50 million naira ransom by the abductors lingered for long when the family could not pay, resulting in his health deteriorating. Once the reduced ransom of 10 million naira was paid, the kidnappers directed the family to where they would find his lifeless body. The retired army officer's remains have been deposited at Kaba Specialist Hospital mortuary. Now to business-like story. The price of chocolate has been rising steadily. Africa supplies more than 40% of the world's cocoa, but two major factors are hitting the world's top producer. U.S. trade tariffs are taking effect just as climate shocks and disease slash yields by up to 50% in some regions, with cocoa prices already at record highs. The outlook for chocolate is turning bitter. Blessing Obe has this from outside the shores of Nigeria.
Deep in the damp forest of Ivory Coast, the air hangs heavy and sweet. They call it Cocoa Country. This is where chocolate begins. Hidden in the forest is a vanishing treasure, the cocoa pod or Theobroma cacao, by its scientific name meaning food for the gods. Once abundant, now harder to find. For the Kouassi brothers, yes to a 3,000-year-old trade. They see in the disappearing cocoa a forest delivering a quiet warning.
If the plant could speak, it would send a message to all, especially children and parents. Chocolate is about to disappear.
Too much rain, too much heat, and now a killer lurking in the shadows. The black pod disease, a plague slashing yields by half. From climate to economic pressures from the White House, the world's top cocoa producer is bracing for a 21% U.S. tariff slapped on its cocoa, the highest ever imposed on an African nation, leaving a bitter taste for cheap chocolate maker in the West that rely on Ivorian cocoa, but perhaps a sweet deal for chocolate made in Africa.
Oui, chocolat est politique.
Chocolate is politics, says Ivorian producer Alain Bocquet, known as the Bushman.
Y a pas de chocolat belge.
There is no such thing as Belgian chocolate, no such thing as Swiss chocolate. They don't grow cacao. What there is Ivorian chocolate, and that's a craft, an art, the purest in the world.
The Bushman wants to not only rewrite the history of chocolate, but its recipe, from bitter roots of exploitation to emancipated tongues. The North took the beans, now the South keeps the bar. The chocolate stays with its unique flavor, and if the West wants a taste of chocolate, let them come to Ivory Coast.
Okay, I've been waiting for this moment. Fragrance is out of this world. It'll melt into your body. It's strong and yet so soft. I've never tasted anything quite like this.
For the Kouassi brothers, it's about protecting a plant overused and overvalued, turning what was once just bittersweet into sovereign African cocoa. No longer food for the gods, but food for the people. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
Moving to sports, athletics precisely, Nigeria's Tobi Amusan recorded her fastest 100 meters time of the season with an 11.18 second finish at the race's Grand Prix, a World Athletics Continental Tour Silver meeting in Kingston, Jamaica. Amusan placed fourth in the highly competitive women's sprint final in front of 15,000 spectators that saw the top four athletes set season best marks, with the top two also meeting the qualification standard for the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo. Sporting red top and running in lane 2, Amusan crossed the line behind two Jamaicans and an American, but showed marked improvement from her previous outings this year. Jamaica's Tina Clayton clocked a time of 10.98 seconds to win Jesus Sears was second in 11.04 seconds, and Alana Reid third in 11.16 seconds.
Sent off. Clayton has had a good start, so too Sears in the middle, bursting through, but the twins are responding. It's Tina Clayton on the outside. Oh, she's pulling up. It's Tia who will come through in the end to beat Sears. Concern for Tina Clayton, though. Concern for Tia Clayton, yeah. Sorry, it's Tina Clayton who came through to...
Better luck next time to our own Toby Amuson. And still from sports, Ruben Neves scored the decisive sport kick after Alvaro Morata missed as Portugal beat Spain 5-3 on penalties following a 2-2 draw in Munich to claim their second Nations League title. Portugal twice went behind in regulation time, but twice fought back to level the scores. Martin Zubimendi took advantage of some sleepy Portugal defense to put Spain in front after 21 minutes. Nuno Mendes leveled things up 5 minutes later. Mikel Oyarzabal put Spain back in front just before the break. Cristiano Ronaldo outmuscled Marc Cucurella to score Portugal's second 1 hour later. It ended in a night of joy for Portugal. That's our package tonight. Before we take another look at Congratulations to Portugal. Before we go, we take another look at some of the top stories. The people of Ondo State have set an agenda for the state helmsman, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, as the governor prepares to prop up the Executive Council. After a 2-day holiday to mark the Eid al-Kabir as declared by the federal government, members of the Ondo State workforce will return tomorrow to their respective duty posts. And then we also told you that the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has reported 224 cases of Lassa fever in Ondo State, while from the foreign scene, U.S. trade tariffs and unfavorable climate conditions are affecting recent cocoa yield in Africa. Thank you for watching the news. My name is Adebimpe Akindele. Good night.